So today we're going to be speaking to a political scientist and international relations expert, Dr. David Matsanga. This is in regards to Sudan rejecting a proposal by UN experts to deploy an international force to protect civilians. We'll find out why they're suggesting that, the UN experts, and why Sudan has rejected this proposal, and what it means for the citizens with the continuation of the conflict in the country.
This is a Channel Africa podcast. You can also get Channel Africa on satellite PAS10, DSTV audio bouquet 802, and OpenView bouquet channel 628.
Sudan has rejected a proposal by UN experts to deploy an international force to protect civilians. The United Nations fact-finding mission said it had found evidence of atrocities committed by both the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces. The Foreign Ministry in Khartoum has dismissed the recommendation, calling the mission political and illegal. And to discuss this further, we have on the line political analyst and international relations expert, Dr. David Matsanga. Now, let's talk about this proposal by UN experts wanting to deploy an international force to protect civilians. What's your take on it?
Thank you very much. While you are away, I'll use the Things Fall Apart by Obiorika telling Okonko. I suggested so in Geneva. I was in Geneva and I had an interview with your radio station from Geneva, and I told them one of the things that the UN can do, and one of the things that the Secretary General must do, and that the Americans must do quickly, is either one, to put airspace, no embargo, no fly zone; two, to put warrants of arrest on the generals who are failing to attend the peace process; three, to put troops on the ground. I am vindicated.
What do you make of the fact that this proposal has been rejected by Sudan?
Yes, of course. Why they have rejected the proposal, Lulu, is because Sudan, one side of Sudan, claims that America and the United States of United Arab Emirates supply one side of the arms. And that was seen in Geneva, that why General Burhani did not come back on the table, and why the other delegation came and stayed in the hotel, was because they were not happy with some presence of some groups on the peace negotiating table. They wanted those groups to be away before they go out. Now, the only way to bring peace, to give 25 million people stranded, humanitarian catastrophe increasing every day, human rights abuses in Darfur region and other regions of Sudan, is to bring in a force that will fight anyone who would want to prevent food from entry. On that one, I agree 100% that a force must come in, because nobody has gone to Khartoum, nobody has gone to Al-Fasher, nobody has gone to Jala, nobody has gone to Barhazel, nobody has gone to any places in Sudan to find out how civilians have been suffering since the war began last year.
Now, this UN fact-finding mission has found that there is evidence of atrocities being committed by both the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces. What needs to be done to protect civilians?
In my territory, in my article, I propose deterrent measures, accountability. One of the deterrent measures is to issue warrants of arrest for all the generals that have taken part in this, to so bring them to justice, to warn them as a deterrent that next time we have peace, if peace process anywhere, if you don't attend, then you won't be able to travel anywhere, but you must surrender and go either the peace process or surrender to the authorities. That one, the UN has been delaying, the AU has been delaying, because there are some people within the African Union, some people within the United Nations Security Council that are part and parcel of the problem of Sudan. and I was very categorical about 2 member states of the United Nations that were involving themselves in the Sudanese affair, selling drones, selling arms, arming one side of the group that makes it difficult for the peace process to start. Now that the UN has vindicated my worries, has vindicated me, it is true. The human rights have been committed. Civilians have been killed. Not 10, not 1, not 3, not thousands have been maimed. And there is nobody who can come up to stand up for the civilians, the poor children, the poor women, the poor old people, the younger men who cannot go anywhere, who have been under war since last year. That would be the greatest news for me to hear this morning, and I'm delighted that activism internationally, like the one I do, has paid off.
Dr. Matanga, in your view, will peace ever prevail in Sudan?
Peace can come. It is possible. When the 2 generals meet face to face, peace will come. Peace can come if the states funding, equipping, logistically supplying arms, United Arab Emirates, America itself, the French, if they don't interfere with the affairs of normal peace process, if they want gold, if they want diamonds, if they want oil, if they want what, let us get peace first, and then they can ask for this oil. But some of these countries are coming with double standards. For example, look at this. I suggested to the United Nations Secretary General, I told the Secretary General, remove warrants of arrest on Bashir. That's one of the factors that has worked in all these things, from the military coup, the first one, the second military coup, to this war. It is warrants of ICC, International Criminal Court, that has threatened Sudan, because the Americans want to capture Mr. Bashir. But Americans are not signatory to the International Criminal Court. Lulu, how do you want others to go to that court when you are yourself not a signatory to that court? That is my question. The second one, you know where Mr. Bashir is. I want to tell you here on this, unless I tell you privately on your phone. I won't tell you where he is, but the Americans know where he is. Now they come on this peace process on the table, sitting there with 2 cards. One card requesting for Mr. Bashir to be handed over by Burhan. That's why Burhan is not reluctant to come on the table. As Africans, we must speak the truth and tell the truth to God, to our African people who are suffering in Sudan. You cannot come with 2 cards. Americans come with 2 legs all the time. Look at what they have done in the Middle East. Look at what they have allowed their partners in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, to come Egypt. Look at what they are doing. They know who is funding these rebels. They know who is funding these 2 sides. But they are not coming in to stop the funding, the arms flowing that are killing Africans. No. Time has come for us to call them out. And I've called them out in writing. I'm calling them out on television. I'm calling them out on this radio station, being listened by millions and millions of Africans. We have had enough. We have had enough. You can't come on the peace table, peace process, Lulu, and say, I want Bashir. You are telling people, quietly, you want Bashir. Now, at the same time, you want the peace process to move on. No, rubbish. That cannot be done. Let them be honest. Before the warrants, United Nations ICC indictments can be deferred by the United Nations Security Council. Allow peace to return to Sudan. If Bashir is still alive, capture him. But if you are coming on the table in Geneva, and then you have a chief prosecutor called Karim Khan shouting everywhere, running around with a briefcase of warrants that are useless because he can't capture anybody. That is where the problem, another problem on Sudan is. This is the greatest news for the week, that I have my struggle, my writing, my talking on TV, my talking on radio has paid. Let's have a force going into Sudan. That's it. It will save the millions of civilians dying. God bless.
That's Dr. David Matsanga, who is a political scientist and international relations expert.
That podcast was courtesy of Channel Africa, the African perspective.